over the weekend, I hit a point of frustration with Street Fighter V.
Yeah. Survival mode?
It's just your typical, beat this many matches and get a prize. And it's usually like, you unlock this color for this character or whatever. On easy, it's like 10 matches that you don't really... Like, you don't have to try that hard to get through all 10 kind of thing.
It's really easy.
As long as you don't just suck outright with the character, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Normal is, it's a little harder than that, but if you know what you're doing, then it's... The only real hard part about it is that tense feeling of, if I make a stupid mistake, I'm already at stage 20 and I'll have to do it over again.
Exactly. Have you beaten normal mode?
No.
Okay.
And that's the thing. That's the shitty thing about this, because as of level 26 out of 30, the difficulty just jumps. You end up fighting a Ryu that is tougher than the last 12 matches put together.
Yeah.
It's insane. And I finally got past him once, and there's a Zangief that's harder than him. It's like, what the stupid hell? Why? I mean, if you're going to have the player progress through... Because, they kind of do this, where, the first match is usually against, Nash or somebody, and they suck and are super easy.
Yeah.
They barely even try to hit you. So why not have it, get a little more difficult each time, instead of staying the same almost the whole way through, and then just being, hey, fuck you, lose now.
My favorite part about this, though, I agree, it sucks. My favorite part about it is that once it switches to Ryu, the stage changes. So it's like Ryu is sitting there, and the stage is different. It's like, oh, fuck, shit just got real.
Yeah.
I found an article, not an article, a Reddit post about this. And it's survival mode tips.
Okay.
I want to talk to you about this. The easy rounds, you shouldn't even be buying anything, right off at the beginning, except maybe attack boost and defense and health recovery if you really, really need it. The CPU doesn't even really block in the early modes.
Yeah.
So use your risky, really damage dealing.
The hard...
Yes,
hard
your
stuff.
hard hits.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
The only thing I really buy... Because the meters filling up hasn't been a problem. Yeah. So the only thing I really ever buy is health recovery.
Yeah.
And only when I'm, at half or less.
I started buying attack boosts. Those are really helpful. Something I found interesting about this, the CPU on stage 26, 27, they will cheat. They read your inputs. So never try to throw them, because they will always do a throw counter.
I haven't tried to throw them.
Okay. Don't try to throw them. Never try to jump in if they have an anti-air.
Okay.
On Ryu, never try to jump in because he will always Shoryuken.
Yeah.
So never try to jump in. Just walk forward and punch if you have Hadoukens. I've been playing with Ken a lot. Just Hadouken, walk in, do pressure. Also, this is the most interesting thing I found about this. You can redo a match if it's going bad for you.
How?
Turn on matchmaking. If you get to Ryu and it's looking bad, turn on matchmaking. Look for a match in the settings, and then just try to avoid him. And then once you find an online match, you play that, and it'll set you back to the beginning of the match with Ryu.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you just have to stay out of his way until it takes you out?
Exactly.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, does it reset your health and stuff?
Yeah, it sets you back to the beginning.
Nice.
Yeah. I just found this right before I came over here, so I haven't had a chance to try it.
Because you got to, the second to last guy.
The final... I found out that the final boss is always Necalli or Bison.
Okay.
So, for normal mode, it's Bison, because level 29 out of 30 is Necalli. And I got to him as Ken, so my strategy with Ken was always either, if it's someone like Zangief or Mika, just fireballs, just Hadouken, because they can't do anything if they can't get close.
Yeah. And
then if it's somebody like Ryu, who has range, just get in close and do risky stuff. And that was working. Then I got to Necalli, and I was like, oh, I just do fireballs. He just jumped over it, grabbed me, threw me onto the ground, and just comboed me, did one combo, and I died.
The scariest opponent in this game is someone else as your character.
Yes.
Because it's oh my god, they know everything I can do, and they probably know things I don't know.
Yes. That's true.
But this wasn't the thing that frustrated me. Like, this was, like, a little thing on the side.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the main thing is, like, this is the first time I've really played a fighting game online. And as is right now, that's kind of all you can do with this game when you're alone, when you're sad and alone.
Can you and I play each other online?
I didn't think there was a way. Now I'm thinking, because I also watched like a Giant Bomb Friday thingy where they just, where it was just like Jeff losing as Ryu for 2 hours while Dan talked to him about things about like amiibos and stuff. It's pretty good.
Was it Unprofessional Fridays?
Maybe. Okay. I don't know. The video started with Jeff just looking at the camera and said, you know, fuck it, let's play Street Fighter. I mean, sometimes this just happens sometimes, right? So, you know, but he set up a lobby, which I guess is just ideally a room full of players that are just going to get randomly paired up together, and then as you win, you get shuffled again, kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Currently, they can only hold 2 players. He set up a lobby and said on their live stream, like, here's, like, the code for it or whatever. That's Go cool. Send an invite or something. So we could do that, I think.
Okay, yeah, we should do that sometime.
But, so I've been playing lots of casual matches.
Yeah.
Like, I did some ranked matches just because I'm like, I think it would be cool just to get on the list kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know I'm never going to climb it very high.
Yeah.
Like, once I've been playing this game for another few months, maybe I'll feel more ambitious and confident in that, and I'll be like, all right, you know, let's see how high I can get in this.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I want literally a casual match. I just want to, like, get on there, have some fun, see my character do things to the other person, see their character do things to me. Like, obviously, I'm going to try and beat the other person, but I'm not playing to win, you know?
Yeah, exactly. The game is still new enough that you want to see what every character has.
Yeah, and I just want to have, like, I want to have the literal definition of a casual match.
Yeah. And
more than half the time, I'm against people who are not trying to do that at all.
Oh, yeah?
It's like, and you can always tell right away. They're going for the jugular all the time and trying to win at all costs.
Yeah.
I'm like, first off, why aren't you saving that shit for ranked? Are you just afraid that you're going to lose?
Yeah, and like, there's no risk at losing in casual.
Yeah. After that happens enough times back to back, it stops being fun for me.
I get that.
And it stinks because you can always see it coming. Because, like, I still don't know. Maybe you can tell me. When, like, they show what characters are about to fight each other and the world is blowing up in the background or whatever's happening, there's a whole lot of bullshit at the bottom of the screen with all these, like, stats and numbers and shit and graphs under each character.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? I'm like, well, that number is kind of close to my number, so are we supposed to be on the same level, kind of? I'm a level 19, but also a level 138. What does that mean? And are they... Huh? Hey, he's in Canada. No, I'm in America, but he just has a Street Fighter flag. Is he from Street Fighter Sylvania? What's happening?
The bigger level is your level. Like, you as a player, your level.
Okay.
The smaller level is your level with that particular character you're playing as.
Okay. So as in, oh, this person has been playing this game for generally this long, and they are generally this good with this character, supposedly.
Exactly, yeah.
But both numbers don't kind of mean anything?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, like, if you're fighting someone, like, your level, you as a player are level, like, 138, you said?
I don't know, I made up a number.
Okay, well, let's say you're level 100, and you're playing someone in a casual match who's level 500. Back out. Like, he's going to destroy you. That's all that means.
It's just an indicator of this number is bigger than that number, so this player has played more than this player has.
Yes, but they should be balanced out in some way. Yeah, and the smaller level, it just shows how experienced they are with that character. I've played people who are level 0, like who are like level 100 or something. I think we are just over level 100, both of us, because we played about the same amount.
Okay.
And I've played people who are level 0 with a character, so I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's played a lot, but he's in casual because he's trying out a new character. All the other graphs, I play a lot with Rashid. I'm always closer to defensive than offensive.
Does that change based on your past performance?
Yeah, that changes on play style.
Okay, because, like, half the time... At first I thought, oh, do I have to, like, move that pip to the right by winning matches or something, or...
No, because I've noticed, like, if I go in more and I do more damage to them, it'll move over to the offensive side more. But you have to do it a lot. It takes a lot because it takes every single time you've played into account.
Yeah.
And the other graph, that's kind of like there's an arm flexing.
Yeah, it's a big like radar circle. There's like with a triangle on in it, and it's like an arm and like a lightning bolt and like a sheep or something.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like offensive, defensive, and a third thing that I'm not sure what it is. But that doesn't work yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I've seen that style graph in other things. It's going to be kind of like a bar graph almost.
Now hold on, Street Fighter V has a feature that doesn't work yet?
I know! It's unbelievable.
How dare you tarnish the reputation, the spotless reputation of this game.
Yeah, I've seen that in other things, and it's gonna like fill up and show, like Killer Instinct has a similar thing, when you're in the shadow system. It's just going to show you, like, what your playstyle is, and it's like, this one's kind of low. You're doing a lot in offense, but your defense needs a little more work, and it's just going to show that before every fight, so it's like, oh, maybe I should be more defensive here.
Yeah. But it's always like, I can always tell, like, even ignoring all that garbage that I don't know what it is, I can always tell, like, in the seconds before a fight starts exactly how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Because I found that that people who are, like, I guess, less experienced with it, or less aggressive with it, will always let those opening character intros play.
Yeah.
Whereas if it starts and they hit the button to go past it,
it's the options button. You don't even know.
I don't know what button it is. Because I've always let them play. Because I'm like, I want to see these characters say something and like not be hitting people.
But they say the same thing every time.
Yeah. So what?
It's like, I'm that guy.
It's like 5 seconds.
I just want to get to the hitting.
And you know what? If it's a mirror match, I let them both say it.
Oh, you're the worst. It bothers me so much that you have no idea how much it like keeps me up at night that you're better at Street Fighter V than I am.
I'm not. I'm ranked. What was my number? I'm gonna find my ranking number because
the fact that you have a ranking proves that you're better. Because I don't.
You should.
I don't play ranked.
What, you scared? You gonna pee yourself?
No, I'm trying to beat survival mode right now. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
Also, I have a full-time job, unlike you.
Whatever. Whatever, freshman. Oh, here it is. I am 284,420th in the world.
Not bad.
But the reason that this bothers me so much is because it's kind of my only option. Because in my head, ranked is where the people who are going to take this super seriously are going to spend their time, and casual is where, like, people who like fun are going to spend their time. And it's like, okay, I got to a point I don't want to play online with people. And my only other option is I could mess around in training, I guess, but I kind of don't want to spend time in settings setting it up to be like a regular versus match.
That doesn't take long, though.
Yeah, I hate doing it. I want to have to go through menus and shit to get to like a basic thing.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay.
It seems weird that you'll wait 5 seconds for a stupid intro that you've seen 1,000 hours to play, but you won't take the 5 seconds to set up a match.
That's a nice little in-engine cinematic.
I don't know. It's just as tedious to me.
These voice actors did work. Damn it.
And I've seen them. And now that I've seen it, I'm good.
You're like one of those people that doesn't watch Mortal Kombat fatalities.
No.
They're like, oh, I hear the music, it's over. Might as well go to the next match.
Yeah.
You're an asshole.
I just think the people who designed the combo systems and stuff like that, they put in a little bit more work. That's all.
Yeah. Whatever. The point is, the multiplayer of Street Fighter V, I've got super frustrating, and there was no satisfying single-player aspect to it. Maybe that'll change with the update that's supposed to come this week, I believe.
Ooh, it's coming this week?
I think so. I keep hearing vague references to like, oh, we'll have some big news this coming week, or like there's going to be a thing, or whatever. So hopefully that's when the shop is going to come, and that's when like the challenge modes and stuff are going to come. They're probably never going to patch in the single player against a computer versus mode, which is what I spend almost all my time in every other fighting game. But
well, story mode might fill that void.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But so as a result of this, I spent a lot of time playing Street Fighter 4 Ultra.
Did you really?
I did.
What? I thought you were joking.
No. So I'm like, I'm in a mode where like I really like Street Fighter and I like these characters, and part of the reason why I want this store to finally like kick in is so that we can get more characters in there. And then I'm like poking around in like the PS4 store, and I'm like, huh, there's Ultra.
Isn't that game totally broken?
It was, but they had a couple patches that fixed it.
Okay.
And it was stuff like the game said at first to hit the start button, and if you did, it would crash or something. And sometimes there weren't sound effects, and sometimes like fireballs were invisible, and like, little things.
Sometimes like you punch someone in a car honk. I heard. Yeah.
Sometimes like if you tried to play online. But I looked it up. I'm like, okay, yeah, they did fix it. I'm looking. I'm like, okay, well, what's this game look like? Oh, okay, really different art style, but it still looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
How many characters are? 44? Huh. And it's like basically like the Ultimate Edition or whatever kind of thing, where it's got all the DLC, all the costumes, all the characters, and I'm like, I need this right now. I made a point of like, okay, I know how to control Cammy now. Let me see how, as a point of reference, how she controls in this game. Yeah. And it's close, but it's different enough so that I'm probably never going to use her in it, because I'm like, this is going to mess me up for the other game. So I basically just went around like, oh, who's that? Oh, who's that? Like, I've set it to super easy or whatever. Yeah. And just like, because I wanted to see what do these characters look like and how do they feel? Like, what is who the hell is that guy? What's this lady's problem? Like, all this stuff. Like, my opponent made just like the default whoever the cursor was already on. Okay. It ended up being some creepy big red guy that covered himself with oil.
Oh, yeah, I know him. Oh, what's his name?
Creepy man.
Oh, that's not him. Keep talking.
But like, it's awesome. I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, I recognize that name. And like, hey, I think that's one of the DLC characters for 5. Oh, geez. It's like, Jury, what'd she do? Oh, I hate you, but I don't know anything, so maybe I will like you. I found out in that game, if you do a Hadoken, but you don't release the button, it charges.
Oh, that's so cool.
And now I want to see if that happens in 5. I want to say it doesn't, because I've never seen anybody do it.
No, I don't think it does. Hakan is the guy.
Okay, yeah. He's creepy and red. Yeah. And oily.
I think he's the devil.
He did a thing where he has like a finishing move where he like just like hula hoops you and shoots you at a car because he's slippery.
I think that's called the oil coaster.
Nice. But it's weird. Like, I think I've talked about this character before. Like, Sakura, I think.
Is that Ryu's like #1 fan?
Yeah, she's the one who's like, I'm Ryu's biggest fan, so I want to be a Street Fighter. Yeah. And it's basically, she's another character like Ryu and Ken and stuff, but weaker. She does like a little Hadoken. I'm like, oh, that's adorable. I just, by chance, instead of pressing it, I just linger on the button for a second, and it gets bigger. I'm like, what? Oh, cool. And for some reason, when I'm playing Street Fighter V and I'm using Ryu or somebody, I can never on purpose do a Hurricane Kick or a Shoryuken. Yeah. I looked at her moveset, I'm like, oh, okay, there it is, and now I'm just doing them. I don't know what the hell. I don't know if the input's different or what, but it just seems easier.
I'm now able to do a Shoryuken regularly in Street Fighter V.
I get nervous by close moves, you know?
Yeah. I can do it regularly. I don't often do it because I pretty much do it as an anti-air.
And I refuse to play multiplayer in this game.
Oh, no.
Because this game has been around longer than you've been alive. Anybody playing online is going to be like the Arnold Schwarzenegger Hitler of Street Fighter.
Wow, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. So Street Fighter 4 is my single-player Street Fighter game, and 5 is my multiplayer Street Fighter game, which is kind of fucked up when you think about it.
Yeah, you're actively making yourself worse at Street Fighter 5.
Well, I'm going to stay away from the 4 version of anybody I care about playing a lot in 5.
Okay, that's fine.
I did check out, like, alternate costumes and shit. You know what's really weird?
What's that?
Other than the fact that a lot of their alternate costumes in 4 are terrible... So you know how Cammy's whole thing is like, hey, I like cats. Yeah. One of her alternate costumes is a cat suit. Huh. And I don't mean like...
Like a stealthy ninja?
Yeah, they don't mean like a Catwoman kind of thing or whatever. Remember that Mario game where they all dressed like cats? Like
Yeah.
theme park cats?
Yeah, Mario Cats.
Yeah, Mario Cats. Imagine that, but gray and beating you up.
Huh.
It's really weird.
Is it kind of like sexy?
No. No.
No, it's not even like fetishist?
I mean, I guess anything could be.
Yeah, I guess.
But no.
That's weird.
I'll find a picture and show you.
Is it kind of like, do you remember Felicia from Marvel vs. Capcom?
The blue hair and...
Blue hair, white costume.
No, because
barely covering her.
No, hers was like, it's like a bathing suit, but fur. But no, no. I'll look it up. You talk about something.
Okay. Speaking of Street Fighter, Capcom recently, they've been docking league points for rage quitters on Street Fighter V.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
And this is apparently going to be like, this is their temporary fix. They're working on a better one.
They're working on fixing it permanently, but it's only affecting players with 80 to 90% disconnect rates. So if you've been disconnected due to a bad connection or just you had to leave the room, you're fine. It's only for people who have very high disconnect to win rates.
And league points are like just your reward for winning a ranked match or something. What is that?
I think that has to do with your ranking, because the currency is bison bucks, as everyone knows.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So I think this is a good solution. It's a good temporary solution, at least.
Yeah, it's a good start.
Yeah. Maybe that's why you're so low on the ranking. Have you been rage quitting?
No, I haven't gotten to that point. I hope I don't.
No,
I'm probably not.
That's the worst thing you can do in online matches.
And it's apparently super easy to do it too. Like it's in the options.
Yeah.
I like the idea that you go to options and select rage quit.
I think Mortal Kombat X had the best solution, where if your opponent left the match, their head exploded, and the person who stayed got a quitality.
Quitality is great.
Yeah, and you gotta win, and they got a loss.
Cool.
So it was a big punishment for leaving.
Yeah, I mean, when you get down, I don't know how the tech side of this works, but like the fact that their systems are watching all of this already, it feels like the people running Street Fighter should be able to look at it and see, oh, this person's connection was shit.
Yeah.
If they blinked out partway through the match, it was because they were in like the red or something. It wasn't whereas like, oh, this person had full bars the whole time or whatever, and then they just mysteriously disappeared when their health was down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's over. Here's
Oh god.
that's Cammy in the. It's less theme parky than I remember it being, but still, it's like
It's kind of somewhere between like Catwoman and this is just my regular outfit with cat ears.
yeah. I think they draw whiskers on too. It's kind of weird.
Wow, that is weird.
Yeah, but yeah. I'm really curious to see what their long-term fix is for rage quitters.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I would understand the value of it or the motivation behind it more if I cared more about competitive play.
I'd be totally fine with every time you left a match, you got a loss and your opponent got a win.
I mean, that would suck because if that happened, then that does punish people who just had technical failure.
Yeah, but it happens so infrequently. Maybe, I don't know.
Have you had many issues with, like, laggy connections and stuff?
No, I haven't. I've had, like, 1 or 2 matches that were bad.
I've had, like, a handful just because, like, my policy, because I want to get better, and I know myself, I know how hard it is for me to get myself to start something.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, my policy with Street Fighter is I'm going to do casual matches until I win at least one, and then I'll stop.
Okay.
So, I'll end up playing for, like, an hour. There's been a handful where it's going good, it's going fine, then it starts getting all jittery.
Oh, yeah.
And like, oh, now I'm kicking, I never see myself kick, but I have confidence it did kick. All of a sudden, this person's standing somewhere else. I'm like, hey, was I always on that side of them? And, oh, I won. Okay.
You win those matches?
One of them I did. I'm like,
Wow.
oh, well, all right. The one that really, and this is no fault of theirs. This is no fault of Capcom or Mr. Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Something that happens sometimes, I think I just need a new HDMI cable because I'll be doing something on PS4 and I'll notice it'll start getting kind of staticky or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's just one of those pull the cable out and plug it back in.
Oh, okay.
And like the screen will go black for a second and then it's fixed. It started happening in the middle of a match. I'm like, oh god, I have to fix this. I'm never going to make it to the end of the thing. I went and unplugged it, plugged it back in. By the time it all came back up, I had already taken a bunch of hits. I'm like, god damn it.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I was playing, Matt came over yesterday. We were playing a couple rounds of Rocket League.
Nice.
And we had, I don't know if you've ever seen technical difficulties in Rocket League.
No.
But it is hysterical. Like we're driving, suddenly we're all flying. The ball is under the arena.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then they scored, and we're like, what happened? That's not right.
Is Rocket League part of esports?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't follow esports, but
No.
it seems like it should be.
But you're such a jock, though. You're an e-jock.
If there were any sports I'd get into, it would be esports. And by into, I mean watch. and
Watch
root
while
for.
eating Cheetos.
Exactly.
I think Evo is in July? June? No, E3 is in June.
I do always try to watch Evo.
I've never seen it.
Well, we're going to.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I remember once you sent me a clip of like, look at this, it's insane. It's like somebody is Chun-Li kicking a bunch while somebody's Ryu is blocking every one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, these people seem to be very happy about this. Okay.
This Evo, you will know more about fighting games, so it'll be fine.
Like, was the implication that he was hitting block every single time a kick was happening?
Every single kick.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
Yes, it is!
Hey, speaking of cool things. So, keeping in fighting games, Killer Instinct Season 3 is happening the 29th of this month, March.
Really?
Yep. It's going to, quote-unquote, launch with Kim Woo, Tusk, Gargos, Rash, Arby's, and there will be 4 more later.
Ooh.
By the way, Arby's controls like a Halo character, where right trigger fires his gun, and like left bumper throws a sticky grenade.
What? That's awesome!
Yep.
Is there a trailer out for him yet? And don't send me another link to an Arby's commercial.
I'm going to.
But seriously, is there a trailer out for him?
I mean, there probably is.
Okay.
I saw one for Tusk, who's like a caveman or something.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen him yet.
He's cool.
Okay.
He seems cool. He has a giant broadsword made out of stone or something.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm immortal and it fucking blows. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah. Man, that game's amazing.
And the Windows PC and Xbox One editions each have cross-play and cross-buy. And fight stick compatibility for both.
That's cool.
So yeah. I feel like that's the one piece of Windows Microsoft computer news that's a net positive lately.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess if you like we were talking the other day about can you use a fight stick on a PC? I guess if you have a Microsoft fight stick, you can.
Yeah,
Like
which
for
makes
the
sense
Xbox
because
One.
like the Xbox controllers have always been able to just plug in to PCs and be good to go.
That's not true. I had to get a dongle for the Xbox One controller.
I mean, I'm talking about like wired ones.
That's true. Yeah, because there's no cord for the Xbox
Yeah.
One. So.
A lot of people's default has always been like the wired 360 controllers.
Yeah.
Which,
that's a great controller.
oh yeah. Which I'm surprised that Microsoft doesn't have like, because I assume that they have like a Bluetooth option built in there or something for like wireless mouse. So why couldn't you just connect wirelessly to like an Xbox One controller?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think for a wireless mouse, it usually comes with a dongle that you plug into a USB port.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Apple doesn't, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, aren't you special?
You know what? I'm gonna cut to this just because of that segue. So wow, it's way down here.
The segue, aren't you special?
No. So the head of Oculus was asked if the Rift would ever come to Mac. Did you see this?
No.
He responded, "That's up to Apple. If they ever release a good computer, we'll do it." And
oh, that's fantastic.
he went on to talk about how like the problem is that Apple shoots for usability in place of power, and how like their top of the line doesn't meet their minimum specs. But he just opened with that quote, and it was great.
Yeah. Is that who was the head of Oculus? Do you have the name?
I don't. I want to. Is it Palmer? Is
Palmer Luckey? That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. Is he the
I like
idiot
that
from that
guy.
magazine cover?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I like him though. He's a nice guy that time just doesn't like him.
Oh, something else I did this week was I realized I had spent for like over a month playing video games that were nothing but Street Fighter and Final Fantasy Online.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I need something. I just need a story.
Yeah.
So I played Firewatch.
Really?
Yeah, all of it last night.
What? We were gonna do it on the channel.
Oh, we are?
I thought we were.
Okay, we still can.
What the hell?
No. I won't say anything about it then.
Did you enjoy it?
I mean, it's yes.
No, let's talk about it.
No, because you want to play it.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
We've talked about this before.
That's probably not true. I will say
we talked about it on a podcast before. Hell.
I will say it did give me what I wanted. That it was literally the opposite of those other experiences in every way.
What other experiences?
Like a fighting game. Like.
Okay.
So yeah, that. I also stopped playing Final Fantasy.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, you were really into that.
I was. So I've been doing like the free 30-day trial of it.
Oh, okay.
And they emailed me saying like, hey, this weekend your free trial's up. You know, that kind of thing. Like, if you want to continue exploring this world, there's what you do, this or that. And my first thought was, okay, well, let's see, how much is it per month? And I should really look into one of those, like, because they have like peripheral keyboards that plug into the bottom of the controller and all this stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm sitting there, I'm looking at this, I'm like, this is a lot of trouble to go to. And like it makes me like reevaluate what I'm doing in the game, and it's like I like this game. I love how it looks. I love my character that I built. I love the advancement of it. I enjoy the grind, but I haven't been engaging with it on a social level, partly because of like physical limitations.
Yeah.
When I really like step back and look at it, this game, like this being my first MMO, it's established an appreciation of MMOs on a technical level, and it's like, you know what, I will come back to this at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, I can let it go.
All right.
I can let it go for now.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna look for another one, but I will let this one go for now.
I feel like there are free options out there.
Oh yeah, I've already started looking into.
Okay. Yeah.
What's funny is
I didn't even know you had to pay monthly for that.
Yeah, and now that I'm looking. Well, first of all, I thought I'd been playing for more than a month, which I guess I haven't.
Okay.
It's just when you play for like 6 to 8 hours a day every day for 30 days, it really kind of seems longer.
That's
little...
That's like 210 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Mr. Scientist. Did you type that out on your pocket protector?
You don't even know what that is.
It protects pockets from science, from getting too much science on
and
it.
Apparently it's a calculator, too.
Yep. It sciences. But yeah, and what's funny is I've been looking around at lots of like top 10 MMOs for this year kind of lists, and like which ones are on like PS4 and which ones are on Mac and this and that. And one of the ones that people are like, all right, this one's controversial, but it's actually really great, is... It's called like Black Desert Online, and 2 days ago Giant Bomb did a quick look of it, where again Dan and Jeff sat down to play it for like an hour, and it looks terrible.
Really?
It's got the greatest character creator ever and some of the greatest character models ever, but like the gameplay of it doesn't look good at all.
You know what you should look into? See if you can play it on a Mac? I'm sure you can. I think I've played it on a Mac. Realm of the Mad God.
That's that thing that you've been playing where like you're like a mutant banana or something. No, that's Nuclear Throne. Okay.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
I want to play your weird peanut butter jelly time MMO, Rob.
Look into Realm of the Mad God. It's great. It's fun. It's kind of roguelike, but also MMO-ish.
Okay.
And you can just pick it up and like play for an hour, and get really far, and then die and lose everything, and then
sounds
come
great.
back to it. But you'll always come back to
that.
it.
Sounds exactly like survival mode in Street Fighter V.
Exactly. Yeah.
God. But so yeah, that's been my weird weekend.
I have one more piece of news.
Yeah. You have one more piece? I have like a text document full.
Well, I want to do mine.
Okay.
Then we can get into yours and you just ramble them off like you normally do.
Oh,
Microsoft
uh-oh.
Is canceling development on Fable Legends.
Yeah, I saw that this morning. Yeah. And not only that,
they're closed. Shut up! It's
Okay.
my news.
Go on.
They may be closing Lion's Head Studios, which is making Fable, with the creators of Fable.
Yeah. Did they say why?
I have a feeling it's because Fable Legends was announced 3 years ago, and it was supposed to be an Xbone launch title.
Oh.
And we've got nothing.
They're also closing Press Play Studios.
Yes, the makers of Max and the Curse of Brotherhood, which was one of my favorite games when it came out. Now I've moved on to other things, but it was a great game.
And like they're gonna stop development on Project Knoxville, which I don't know what that is.
Oh, I saw that. I have no idea what that is.
But yeah. I look forward to listening to other podcasts who know more about this to find out why they did that.
We should play Max and the Curse of Brotherhood.
Should we?
Yes.
I mean, didn't it get these people fired?
I mean, like in memoriam.
Okay.
Because it's a great game. It's like, it looks like a Pixar movie.
Nice. It'll last forever, like Wind Waker.
Okay.
It'll last forever, like Wind Waker.
Why'd they make an HD release then?
So it'll last even longer than forever. After the heat death of the universe, it'll still be out there.
Alright, what else you got?
Let's talk about Quantum Break.
Let's talk about Quantum Break.
Because
I can't wait to play it.
there are...
It's gonna make me happy.
No, it's still coming out.
Okay.
Usually our Microsoft stories are about how things are either getting canceled or disbanded.
Yeah.
But Quantum Break has a pair of Alan Wake Easter eggs. There's a blackboard, and it's like a Rip Hunter style blackboard.
Oh my god.
Where like it's somebody's trying to figure out Alan Wake.
The game?
Like the storyline of Alan Wake.
Good luck. I can't wait to play Quantum Break.
The other is you can find a TV and watch it, and it has like a 3-minute like trailer promo in-game like fake show of an Alan Wake sequel.
Huh?
It's like this whole like somebody's killing people and like these FBI agents are trying to track down this and that, and it's all like this like somebody's walking around with the clicker and like they open the door and it's Alan standing there with a knife and all this stuff, and it's like,
what?
It's like they made...
Is this real or is it in game?
I think it's either just in game or it's an in-game Easter egg for a real thing. I don't know.
God, Remedy Studios are so pissed off that they couldn't make Alan Wake 2. They are pushing it really hard.
But like they made like a full-on like E3 trailer that may or may not only exist for the purpose of this fake in-game thing.
God. Did you see the trailer I sent you a while ago that was like Remedy Studios leaked footage of Alan Wake 2?
Yes.
Is it just that?
No.
Okay.
Holy shit, no. Speaking of Quantum Break.
Okay.
So, you know how it's been the most confusing thing in the universe, how people are like, is there a TV show? Is it just a game? What's going on here? Mm-hmm. I'm still not clear on if there was originally going to be a TV show or not.
Yeah.
But they did film live action, like here's actors on a set kind of things. Mm-hmm. Low budget, like Sci-Fi Channel kind of budget stuff. And they're having that in addition to regular cutscenes and stuff. So every chapter, I think there's 4 chapters of this game. Every chapter of this game will end with one of those.
Okay.
Each of those is 20 minutes long.
That's fantastic.
20-minute live-action episode of essentially the Quantum Break show.
Nice.
But the thing is, this game is so big, these won't fit on the disc. So if you, they said, yeah, we could have fit one on there, but we wanted them all. So if you're on PC, you have to stream them. There's no alternative.
Okay.
If you're on the Xbox One, you have the option of downloading them first.
Okay.
And
I'd imagine they're not that big of files.
I don't know. I mean...
It's like
20 like an episode of a TV show.
that's like an hour and a half movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be that much.
No.
But still, it's like, huh. I feel like they got a little overzealous with this project.
I don't think they're not zealous enough.
Don't think they're not. Oh, okay.
Did I say?
I don't know.
They're...
Whatever.
Oh, you're right. I did say that weird.
Speaking of good ideas, they're currently working on the sequel to the Assassin's Creed movie.
God damn it.
Remember everything good that's been said about Ubisoft and their approach to making the games?
Yeah.
It's like,
Lately,
they're taking their time now. They're taking the year off so they make sure they get all their ducks on the road before they make another one.
That's just so they can fuck up the movie franchise.
Yeah. They moved those guys to the movies.
They left, like, level-headed Bob to make the games. You got this right, Bob. We'll be in Hollywood later. Hate those guys.
I still want to see that first one, at least.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna see it. Like, we're gonna play all the games. We hate it, but we're stuck with it.
Jury's out. Speaking of level-headed Hollywood decisions, Rob, do you have space on your mantle? Do you have a mantle?
I have shelving.
You should go out and get a mantle. Maybe put it where the arcade cabinet is.
Okay.
You're gonna need that space for your Emmy.
We're getting an Emmy? Wait, I'm getting an Emmy?
Well, not you or me, but people who are good at YouTube, because YouTubers can win Emmys now.
Why?
That's a good question. The answer is that the Emmys want to stay relevant, and this was their next move after finally allowing nominees from streaming services like Netflix.
But Netflix makes content for television. Like, I'm confused.
It's like Netflix is considered different from television because it's not
relevant.
it's an internet based thing that you can watch on absolutely everything.
Yeah.
Has no, like, we watch it on TVs because things can plug into TVs, but you can watch it on your phone, a tablet. There's honest to God refrigerators that you can watch Netflix on. I would love a Netflix toaster. I'm just gonna say. And, like, it brands the face of the main character into the toast of whatever. I want Kevin Spacey toast. That would make me finally watch House of Cards.
Yeah.
Which fucking 4th season just came out? God,
Really?
I'm behind that.
I tried watching it, couldn't get into it.
I want to try it.
I'm like, I sound like such a douchebag, but, like, I can't watch sad TV shows.
Oh, it's sad.
Well, no, it's just like, I can't watch Breaking Bad. I can't watch House of Cards. They're fantastic television shows, but I get so invested in the characters that, like, I myself become depressed.
But you like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, because there's boobs and dicks everywhere. No, it's just like, yeah, there's sad moments, but, like, I'm so far in that I need to know what happens with these characters.
Huh, okay.
And also, like, I fell off of The Walking Dead because, like, I don't know, I just wasn't interested in the characters anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, I guess Game of Thrones, I think it's just written better.
Alright. But you'll never know if Carl gets in the house.
Get back in the house, Carl!
The categories for this are going to be, you know, they all have to be original series, comedy/drama, reality/nonfiction, minimum of 6 episodes, each no longer than 15 minutes.
No longer than 15 minutes?
Yeah.
That seems odd.
Eh.
So this is all like original program. There's no like Let's Play category or anything like that.
I mean, I suppose if you have a Let's Play channel that fits into these specifications,
okay.
Because you can make the argument that like a funny Let's Player would like fall under the comedy kind of.
Yeah, but I'm thinking like it's more of a story based thing. You know what I mean? Like if we were to come up with an original sitcom idea, like we wouldn't pitch it to a network because nobody watches TV anymore. We would just do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do.
Why so short?
I don't know.
It's so weird.
I don't know. Also, they'll present the awards in like a pre-recorded event that they cut up and air during the main broadcast of the Emmys. It's like how they'll always cut away from the main stage and like do another thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that.
And here's PewDiePie reading off all of the winners that we're not going to show you, but you care about.
Yeah.
Oh my. I hate people.
You know what else we should do?
What?
We should ride the Six Flags VR roller coasters.
What?
So, imagine a roller coaster.
Okay.
Are you doing it?
I'm on it,
All
yeah.
right.
I'm
Now,
imagining the Hakan's oil coaster.
now imagine you're sitting in a real roller coaster.
Okay.
Now there's an Oculus on your face.
Wait. Back up.
Yeah.
When you said VR coaster, I imagined I'd be sitting in like some sort of contraption that like spun around and made me I've ridden these things in Disney where you like go into like a thing suspended in the air and it spins around and it makes G-force, so you feel like you're on a roller coaster.
No, Rob, this is not the machine invented by Billy and his young friend in that early episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is and I'm sorry, it's not an Oculus, it's a Samsung Gear VR. You're going to be in a physical roller coaster.
Okay.
Wearing a Gear VR on your face.
Okay.
That's where that goes.
Yeah.
You are in like a tour bus touring Metropolis. But then Lex shows up with a gravity gun and shoots everything. So now you're flying through the air as if on a roller coaster. And Superman shows up and he heat visions the gun, but that makes everything fall. So now you're falling. The roller coaster is going down this whole roller coaster-y slope. And like you're looking around, you're seeing like Superman fly down and fight robots until eventually catching your car and like bringing you down to safety. And it's going to be that kind of thing.
I have a question.
Yes.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
Why did they actually have to build a roller coaster?
I mean, I guess they could use one of their existing ones.
That does sound cool. Like, can I like customize it? Like, have Superman save you. It's like, fight a Godzilla. Or like, fly through the Gotham with Batman.
I assume they would have to have individual coasters for that.
No, I mean, like, they could just make a different animation. So it's like, instead of falling and having Superman catch you, it's like, fall and have Batman swing a grappling hook. You know what I mean? No.
This is the Superman.
You have one.
This is the Superman ride. You're on the Superman ride.
Why even have a VR? I am so confused by all of this. Who pitched this and how did he get it pitched? He just walked into a room through a businessman and said, guys, VR, and everyone applauded.
Yep. Well, you can let us know how it is.
We do have a Six Flags, like 45 minutes.
We do. I will be on the ground and you will be in Metropolis. So this was kind of fun. So the Uncharted 4 trailer came out, and the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, said it looked great.
Okay. That's nice.
And then a pro Xbox, anti-PS4 fan tweeted, Xbox head talking about how great UC4 will be. Just wave the white flag already. This is embarrassing, sad to say. Phil Spencer replied, and I love it when they're direct like this.
Yeah.
We should all applaud when a team does something special. Those who hope for a team to fail due to platform aren't real gamers.
Good for you.
Good for him.
Good for you, Phil Spencer.
Yeah, It's just so aggravating sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I've spent most of my life talking to comic fans who are all like, well, I like DC so I can't like Marvel, or I like Marvel so DC sucks, or I read indies so I can't, so mainstream superheroes garbage, like that kind of crap. Or it's like, oh, that's not comics, it's manga. It's like at a certain point it's like, what the hell? What are you even doing?
We're all shunned by the mainstream anyway. Can't we all just get along?
Like, I understand that desire to like pick a team and want them to succeed, but it's like every single one of them has good stuff and okay stuff and crap.
Yeah.
And what's the difference? Who cares? Marvel is just as good and just as bad as DC.
Yeah.
Xbox is just as good and just as bad as PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now.
Yeah.
Now, when they started, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'll say now DC's a little more on the bad side than Marvel.
Yeah, but who knows? They're doing a weird thing soon.
Yeah. And a few years ago, DC was way better than Marvel. It goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, Nintendo sucks because they only do Nintendo games. And like, but Nintendo's great because they do Nintendo games.
Yeah.
It's like,
Nintendo games are amazing!
It's like, both of those are right.
Yes.
Both of them. Speaking of Nintendo, this actually worked great because that was the next thing on my list.
Did you not do that on purpose?
No, I didn't.
Good for you.
It just worked out. So there was a Nintendo Direct, which you didn't watch because you never watch Directs because you're a soulless lunatic.
Because I'm friends with you, and I know you will inform me.
Just because I do every time, that's no reason to expect it. So they were talking about everything that was going to come out. Well, back up a little. A week before this, they did their Pokemon 20th Anniversary Direct, where it was 3 minutes long. They had like a cool montage of Pokemon through the ages and announced Sun and Moon are coming later this year.
Okay.
And then it comes out, oh, they're going to have a Nintendo Direct in a week. And I was like, oh, well, let's see what this could possibly be. Because when you think about it, it's like, oh, well, I know Star Fox is still coming, and there's probably like one or two other things I can't think of right now. So I was expecting like a 10-15 minute whatever.
Yeah. And
they said, okay, we're going to talk about everything coming out through the summer. And I'm still thinking, like, well, we don't know. E3 is going to be when they drop the NX stuff, and we don't know when how that's going to shake out. So still, not expecting a lot out of this Direct. This was 40 minutes of non-stop stuff and no filler.
That's awesome.
It's bizarre. I didn't write down everything, but the stuff that jumped out at me, and this is like, it's Wii U stuff, it's 3DS stuff, there's Amiibo stuff. Like Wii U, Star Fox Zero is coming out April 22nd. There's branching paths in it that lead to different stages and different bosses.
Holy crap.
And you can go back to them kind of thing, so it's like, you're never going to miss out.
That's awesome. That's next month.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If you use the Fox Amiibo, you end up flying the SNES R-Wing.
Oh my god.
So it's like it's like you're a bunch of triangles now. It's like they have this interesting pilot gunner mechanic where like I can be flying it with the Pro controller and you can be looking through the gamepad doing the weapons.
That's cool.
I don't know if this is in place of or in addition to what they told us before about how like, oh, you'll play it with the gamepad and you'll be flying, but you'll also be looking around to aim because that seems super awkward.
Yeah.
So if this is what they were getting at, I'm super in favor of that.
Yeah.
That's a great option.
Yeah, I would just like to play with the Pro controller if that's an option.
Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. But like, I'm really happy to see Nintendo like playing with the concept of how 2-player can work.
Yeah.
Especially when like this is actually a really good use of the second screen. Because the gunner has to have a completely different field of vision than the pilot does.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And it's coming packaged with a separate game called Star Fox Guard.
Okay.
It's essentially Five Nights at Freddy's.
Huh.
So like you have like your main screen at the center and you have like 12 like cameras all around it and like the enemies are navigating through like these like twisty turny corridors.
Okay.
And you're constantly shifting your resources around to try and keep them at bay. And you can set up levels like that and you can share them so other people can download them and play your levels.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I think they're two separate games, but like their physical copies are being bundled together in one box.
Okay.
And if you get both of them digitally, it'll be for the same reduced price as the physical bundle is.
Gotcha.
So that's a cool idea. That's a cool little thing. Splatoon is still getting updates.
Nice.
And every time they talk about Splatoon, they always frame it as like, it's not done yet. But it's getting balance patches. They're balancing weapons. Splatfest updates, which I don't know what that means. But,
probably just more Splatfests.
Okay, so let's talk about this. So, I had a moment where I'm like, because I'm like, are they gonna finally give us more information about SMT Cross Fire Emblem?
Oh, yeah.
And they did.
Okay.
So, first of all...
That's good, too!
First of all, that's not its name.
What is it?
Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE.
What the hell is that?
I don't know, and Sharp is like the music, so it's like a pound sign, a hashtag.
Wait, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE.
Yes.
FE Fire Emblem, Tokyo Mirage Sessions is SMT backwards.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it takes place in Tokyo, I guess. So this is coming out June 24th.
Okay.
We finally have a date, other than this year or something.
Now, that was weird when Bill said that.
Now, what's interesting here is they're like, because this game takes place in Japan, there's no English voiceover.
That's fine.
It's going to stay in Japanese, and it'll have subtitles.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm like, I like that. I'm good with that. Part of me wonders if it was like just because that makes it easier to get this game out. But you know what? I'm good with that.
Yeah, we watch anime. We can handle it.
I've been training for this day.
Exactly.
They describe it as mixing deep RPG gameplay of an Atlas product with an adrenaline-fueled pop idol concert.
That's the best.
And they showed the characters fighting on stage. I'm like, what?
What is happening?
I don't understand. All the gameplay I've seen is like people running down the street. So I don't know.
Did they say it was going to have SMT combat or Fire Emblem combat?
Well, isn't Fire Emblem combat all like you move around squares? And
yeah.
It's SMT combat then.
Okay. Yeah. Because SMT is basically the same as Persona.
Yeah. Okay. Fire Emblem characters are your personas or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Or they're your swords. I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
I think you wear Crom. I don't know. But the music tracks are going to be by Avex, a company behind some of the biggest pop stars in Japan. So
okay,
this apparently is going to have a bigger like musical thing to it than I thought.
I've never played a Fire Emblem game, but it doesn't seem very like happy and poppy. I know SMT isn't. It's like, isn't there some kind of medieval war going on?
It's like, you know what this depressing Game of Thrones-esque thing needs? J-pop.
I know SMT, you're like a child soldier in a war against demons.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, drop some J-pop on that.
You know what I kind of want to see happen now? I want to see somebody like redo the sound design of all of Game of Thrones just with like the top J-pop songs of the last 10 years. The more depressing the show gets, the poppier it gets.
Just that scene where, I can't think of her name. The woman is walking down the street, they're yelling shame at her and throwing feces at her, just J-pop blasting.
Yep.
Oh, remember when we met the woman who was the shame bell toller at Dragon Con? That old woman just walked by ringing the bell.
Yes!
And we all yelled shame at her. You're like, what's happening? I was like, shame her!
Okay. I still don't understand.
Watch Game of Thrones.
No. So Lost Reavers is coming out April 28th. This is... You may have seen it. You probably haven't because you don't watch Direct.
True.
It's a Bandai Namco free-to-play online 4-player co-op tomb raiding action game.
That sounds amazing.
And it's the kind of thing where, like, if you have a bunch of different characters and weapons and stuff, you have to all fight your way to the treasure. And then you have to escape with it. And it's heavy. So one of your...
Oh my god, it's like Fat Princess!
I guess. So one of your team has to slowly lug this thing to, like, the extraction point, which is back outside.
Okay.
And the rest of you have to protect them.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea. It comes out, like, for real the end of April. I think there's, like, a beta or something before that.
Okay.
But, yeah, I want to try that out because that looks really cool.
Fat Princess was, like, one of the first PlayStation 3 online games.
They've had a bunch of Fat Princesses, haven't they?
I think so, yeah. This was the first one that really took off. And it was, like, a game of capture the flag. One team protected the princess by feeding her, and the fatter and fatter she got.
It was harder to steal her?
It was harder to kidnap her, yeah.
Why didn't Mario ever think of that? Peach is always making cakes.
He's only into her for a look. She doesn't have much going on upstairs.
Oh. You know, I read about this. There was a Nintendo Power Mario comic for a while.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And, like, Peach was a badass in it.
Really?
Like, when Bowser's forces attacked the castle, she got her Toad troops together and just ran out and just started fighting them.
That's awesome.
And, like, when she got captured, she did the thing where she's, like, they go in the cell and she's gone, but she's up on the roof, like, holding, with her arms and legs holding up to the ceiling, and then drops down and starts beating up everybody. And then Mario gets kidnapped, so she goes off and saves him. It's like, jeez.
Oh my god, that's amazing. It's like John's idea for a game, The Missing Link.
That is such a good title, too.
It is! Oh,
My god, that can be the Zelda game that focuses on Linkle as a playable character.
Yes!
But whatever. That doesn't matter, because Paper Mario Color Splash is coming this year.
What is that?
As a Wii U Paper Mario game.
Awesome.
It's kind of Splatoon-esque in that something is draining all the color away from the world, and Mario has a magic paint hammer where he hits stuff with his hammer and it gets color.
Okay.
And it's like, it showed like some of like the super attack moves where it just showed like, oh, there's your paper enemies, and in the background is the earth, and behind the earth is the rising sun, and beyond that a giant oscillating fan comes up and it blows them all away.
What the hell?
It's so cool.
That's like Wonderful 101 levels of moves.
Yep. I'm looking forward to that, because like,
yeah,
I've come to realize about myself. I don't think I like Mario games. Just like basic Mario game, like the classic ones, can't really get a feel for it. The more modern 3D ones, not really. No, I don't really feel it. I really like the Paper Mario games, though.
Yes.
Like, if you I love Mario characters plugged into other things.
Yes.
Like, put them in an RPG kind of thing.
I agree.
For some reason, the fact that this one's going to be on the Wii U instead of being on the 3DS makes me feel like, okay, they're really going all in on this one.
I agree, yeah. They're taking it seriously.
So, yeah, and that one didn't have a specific date, just this year sometime. Probably, like, later more than sooner.
I would think so, yeah. What was I going to say? Mario games, great party games, though.
As in Mario Party, or just...
God, no. I mean, like, those new, like, the new Super Mario Brothers, the 2D ones.
Yeah.
Like, if you get a couple people around.
Bubble the game.
Yeah, those are great.
We got some Pokken tournament stuff.
Yeah?
It's March 18th. It's coming up. I don't know if there's an online aspect to this, or if this is just default what happens as you play.
Mm-hmm.
You are climbing the ranks in the Pokemon League.
Oh,
That's a cool idea.
That is.
And you apparently have a trainer avatar. Like, it's an anime character that's like, this is the like, if you pick Pikachu, then it's going to be like Pikachu's health bar and stuff, and next to it is like the head of your anime avatar character guy.
Okay.
And they'll be like, look.
Oh, so you're not a human player. You're the Pokemon the entire game.
Yeah, like when the thing.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay.
Yeah, so like I pick Pikachu, you pick Lucario. I'm controlling Pikachu like I would in like Smash Brothers or something, you know. But like as you win fights, you get in-game currency that can customize your avatar.
Oh, okay.
And like so give them like different like clothes and stuff or whatever. And you win money regardless of what mode you're playing.
Okay.
Street Fighter.
Okay. That's cool. What was I gonna say? Who was the electric Pokemon trainer in the show?
In the Lieutenant Surge, I think.
Yes, that's it. Can he be my avatar if I pick Pikachu?
I don't know. They just showed like generic anime boy, so I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe you can unlock him later, unlock established characters. But I don't know. Also, they showed off a couple like some more moves.
Mm-hmm.
So you know Gengar, the little purple fat ghost guy.
Yes.
He basically has wicked weaves.
No.
Like he punches and like a portal opens up and a big purple fist punches.
He could never do that.
Well, he has like a final smash kind of move where it's like the world around you just goes dark and then you're falling into like a big swirling vortex and the center of it is a giant Gengar face that swallows you.
What the hell?
I don't know what it is with 2016 Nintendo and epic as shit finishing moves.
Maybe they realize like people really like these platinum games we're putting out. We should just do that to all of our games.
Oh man. So let's talk about the 3DS.
Alright.
Because that's all on Wii U. That's there's other stuff, but none of it.
But who cares?
It was all just sort of like, hey, remember this exists kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they're getting closer to just making the Amiibo game.
Okay.
I feel like at least once every 6 months, I'm like, all right, they're getting closer. It's called Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge.
That sounds like it's the Amiibo game.
My note is the name of it, and then ... and then at least it's free. Because it's a free download or whatever. And it's at the end of April. And what it is it's compatible with the Mario characters. So you pick up your Rosalina amiibo and you touch it to this thing, and it spawns a character that's like a little wind-up toy version of Rosalina.
Okay.
And like you go through the level as that.
I gotcha.
Which I don't know if it was just easier for some reason to make it them wind-up toys.
Well, they've done those types of games before.
Yeah, but it's a weird pull, you know?
Yeah. Maybe somebody's really pushing to get those games back, you know?
Yeah.
Like, people really love those Mario and DK wind-up toy games. I don't even remember what they're called.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
But it's like, just make them, just
put them
do
in
it.
there.
Just make them as themselves.
Make them like cute little chibi versions or something if you have to.
Or put out like the wind-up toy amiibos of them, which, you know what? I would rather they do that than some of the other stuff, because they announced, okay, so amiibos, they're really, I think we're hitting the bottom of the barrel here.
Yeah.
Because they did all the Smash characters. They've done a separate line of Mario characters, which is all the same people again in different poses, and one unique one, which is Toad. Now they announced the Kirby line.
Okay.
Which is the exact same thing as the Mario line. It's all them in different poses.
Yeah.
Like Kirby's on his star, which is nice. And there's a Waddle Dee.
I kind of want the Waddle Dee.
I know, he's kind of cool.
Damn it, Nintendo.
But the other amiibos, they're like, and then Animal Crossing is getting some more.
Why? There are too many Animal Crossings.
And two of them are Isabelle and Isabelle in her summer clothes.
Who the fuck is Isabelle?
Some dog or something. I don't know.
Nobody likes Animal Crossing.
I mean, what else are you gonna... I mean, I have to assume they're just gonna start loading us up with Pokemon.
Oh,
because they've double dipped so many times. There's like 8 Marios.
Oh, yeah. Unless it's the Platinum line, and we get every wonderful one.
I would buy those.
I would buy all 101 of them. I'm serious.
I know you are.
I don't know where I'd put them.
Maybe where there's an arcade cabinet currently.
Maybe.
No, you know what? On either side of your Emmy.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I would do? I would take the glass out of the arcade cabinet, put a shelf in there. That's where I'd put them all.
Cool.
And I'd repaint it to say, like, Wonderful 101, and then pretend to play. Because I'm sad.
I would like to, at some point, have, like, a nice, like, display case kind of thing of all the amiibo. Just because they're really well-made, good-looking little figures.
Yeah.
There's been so many figures that I pass on because I hate points of articulation, because I think they make it look not as good.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Like the more joints there are on something, the worse it looks when you're just looking at it on a shelf.
Yeah.
It's cool you can pose it and stuff, but, you know.
Yeah. Have you ever looked into custom-made amiibos? Amiibo.
A little.
Yeah. I did when, like, they first started coming out. I thought it was kind of cool. Like, there was at the time, there was, like, a custom-made Sheik amiibo, because there was no Sheik amiibo at the time. I think there is now. Isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, people have done stuff like... I saw one where they changed the Mario line, Peach, to be Peach with a fire flower from Mario Cats.
Oh, that's cute.
Because she gets, like... Her dress is like has like a red and white pattern, and she has a different hairstyle.
Okay.
So they modeled a new haircut for her and put it like that kind of stuff is really cool.
Yeah, and they still look as amiibo, which is nice.
Yeah, because it's just the base.
Yeah.
I've already told you about this, but SNES games are coming exclusively to the eShop in some good numbers.
Yes, to the Wii U, correct?
3DS.
Oh, okay.
I mean, maybe to the Wii U too, but they, like, Bill Tran said, like, I'm looking forward to having my 3DS be a portable Super Nintendo system.
That's great.
He's, like, games like Earthbound and F-Zero and a whole bunch of stuff. They're all going to be on there.
I'm really looking forward to playing Earthbound now. After I finish Persona, and I play Street Fighter 5.
Yes. How are you doing in Persona?
Good. Like, whenever I have a chance and I don't want to play Street Fighter, I play it.
How much further have you gotten? Because you just got Naoto in your group the last time I saw it.
Yes, and I started a social link with her.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you're finally smart enough?
Yeah, yeah. I looked up what I had to do because I wasn't sure, and I had to have maxed out knowledge. So I was like, I might as well try. I tried. And I was smart enough. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
That's always great when you're closer than you think you are.
Yeah.
Did you ever manage to continue with Nanako? Or is she still stonewalling you because you don't have enough expression or something?
Yes, yeah, I did manage. To.
Okay, cool.
So I'm at like level 8 with her and Dojima, I think.
Nice.
It's weird. It feels like I'm getting close to the end because I'm at like almost max with everyone. Yeah. So I'm getting nervous, but like I know it ends in April. So what was I gonna say? So I'm at like level 2 with Naruto, and oh my god, I was talking to and she asked me. She said she was into Ko. People haven't played Persona 4, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
This one girl is like, hey, your friend's cute, find out if he likes me.
Exactly. So I went downstairs, I was like... and I was looking for him, and he runs past me, he's like, oh, hey. My character's name is Link. He's like, hey, Link, man, I gotta piss like a racehorse. So I'm like, okay, do you like anyone?
High school. That's how that goes. That's how that works.
So he's like, oh, geez, being direct, huh? Really gotta pee, but yeah, I like Chie, and I'm damn jealous that you get to sit next to her. I'm like, oh, okay. I've also been dating her for about a year, but whatever. So
then you got into a fist fight.
Yeah, I punched him until he peed himself. So after he said, but like I get it. It's just the dialogue is the same. They don't know who you're gonna. The game developers don't know who you're gonna be dating at this point. So
yeah,
it didn't bother me at all. Then it said, like, you hear footsteps. Apparently, I was eavesdropping on you.
Yep.
So I went back upstairs to the roof, and she's standing on the opposite side of the fence on the roof about to jump. I don't know how she got up there without falling.
I know. She was
amazing.
very careful.
Yeah, she was. She didn't really want to kill herself. She was just looking for attention.
I mean, kids, you know.
Kids. So I was like, oh, please don't. This is gonna look bad. So I selected, like, I'll hear you out. Please just come back. I'll talk to you. And she comes back in. And she was like, oh, I feel so stupid. Like, if only I could have fallen in love with you, tee-hee. It's like, so what do you think? Should you be my boyfriend? And the options were, like, I'll be your boyfriend or say nothing. So I just sat there, silent with the girl who was just about to kill herself. In awkward silence, because I didn't want to cheat on Chie.
Not even to save someone's life.
I know. And she was like, well, okay, I'll see you later. And walked away.
Man, you are horrible to people in their times of need. Remember that time when Yumi was like, had an emotional existential crisis? I forget what she says, but the options are comfort her and turn your back on her.
She says, I love you. You know I love you. I can't bear to watch you leave, so I'm just gonna turn around and I'll leave it up to you. And then those options come up.
Yeah.
And I just quietly slinked out of the room. Because Chie is the best option. I'm sorry, she's the best. And it sucks that there's no gray area. Ever. There is never a gray area. Marie, there was a gray area.
Yeah.
Because Marie, it was like, why are you being nice to me? Because she has amnesia, she doesn't know anything. And it was like, I could choose because I love you or because you're my friend.
Yeah.
So I said, it's because you're my friend. She was like, oh, we're friends, that's great. Everything's fantastic with Marie.
What month are you in right now?
I think November.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm getting kind of close.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a class had to pick a theme for the...
Oh, Jesus.
The festival that's coming up or something. I picked date. I picked like the blind date thing.
What were the options?
It was like group date, and I don't remember.
Yeah. It was like Yosuke's joke in. And everybody's like, I don't even know what this is.
Yeah.
Let's vote for it.
Yeah. If I voted for anything else, that's what it would have been.
It would have been that.
Okay.
Because like you get people like Yuki goes like, well, I would feel bad if nobody voted for it, so I voted for it.
Yeah. I figured the one I picked would have been most popular, but...
Did you... Oh, trendsetter, jeez. Did you, like, do that event yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
God, And, like, it's so... Like, some parts of the game are just so stupid. Like we're walking to school. There's always the scene you're walking to school, and it's raining.
Yep.
And someone doesn't have an umbrella. So like, oh, can I stand under the umbrella with you, senpai? It's like, Jesus Christ, I'm not going to rape you. and so that was happening. I was walking. Naoto also had an umbrella. And then Yosuke comes to ruin everything. And Kanji's also there, but he's cool, so it's fine. And Yosuke comes under the umbrella with me. I'm like, God damn it, go away. And Kanji's like, hey, move over. And Yosuke goes, just stand under the umbrella with Naoto. What are you, gay? He doesn't say that, but he's terrible. And Kanji's like, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. It's like, well, what do you think we should do, senpai? So I choose the option, go under the umbrella with Naoto myself, give the umbrella to somebody else. And Naoto goes like, oh, a third option? I didn't even see that. Like, what is wrong with everyone? And Kanji's like, fine, forget it. And he just runs ahead. And everyone's like, oh, that idiot's gonna catch a cold. I'm like, everyone is terrible.
It's like, this game has so many moments where it's just like, okay, I guess we're doing this now. Yes. Like, you texted me, you're like, hey, there was just a music video in this game. Because, like, at one point, Yosuke is like, oh, my dad's been, like, he sucks at managing this Walmart, so we might have to move. Hey, if you guys could put on a concert, it would somehow fix this. And then you spent, like, a week learning how to play instruments from scratch.
Yes.
And then you put on a concert.
Oh god. I did like the end of that when Teddy crowd surfed and everyone else jumped in and nobody caught them. That was fun.
I love the whole, like, the Kanji Naoto thing. Because Kanji's dealing with the fact that he's gay.
Mm-hmm.
But Naoto, she's basically, like, born a girl but wishes she was a boy.
Yes.
And she passes herself off as a boy. So when Kanji started to have feelings for her, he thought she was a boy. But does the fact that she's really a girl mean that he's straight?
Yeah.
Or is it that, it doesn't matter, you're a boy that I fell in love with, or you're a girl that, you know?
Yeah. So he's already confused about his feelings, and it throws in this other element that he's even more confused about now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is like he gets all, like, flustered whenever he's in, like, he's alone with her, or it has to be like right next to her kind of thing. Because it's like, is this confirmation one way or the other, and how the hell can I tell which it is?
Yeah. It's a great game.
Yeah.
But just some parts really bother me.
I know. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be those. There's going to be a lot more of those.
I can't wait for the big group date event.
Oh my god.
And then Yukiko came up to me and said like, oh man, I can't wait for the festival. I'm not excited because there's going to be that blind date thing that we have to do, but I'm excited for the festival. Like, what do you mean there's going to be a blind date thing? It said like a big group date. I thought it was going to be a fun thing and I'd get to pick... What the hell is this going to be?
It's a group blind date.
What does that mean?
No one knows. I think Yosuke just wrote shit on a piece of paper. He just wrote random words that he knows on a piece of paper in an order.
He held the pencil with his fist. Was like, Yosuke kisses all the girls here.
It's a real monkeys with typewriters thing.
Exactly.
Oh, he's such an idiot.
Oh man.
So speaking of games that are weird, back to the Nintendo Direct.
Okay.
So like I feel like every Direct they roll out something that's like out of nowhere, but it's an original thing they made.
That sounds about right.
It's like, what the fuck? What? So, I'm gonna present you with some math here, Rob.
Okay.
Game Freak, which is, I think they make Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, they helped.
Game Freak plus Solitaire plus Horse Racing equals Pocket Card Jockey.
What?
So this is a game where the top part of the screen is these cute little adorable horses with jockeys on them running around the track.
Okay.
It's like the camera's like right in front of them constantly, like,
okay.
You know. And the bottom screen is a game of Solitaire.
Okay.
And it's like an accelerated version of Solitaire. It's a less nuanced game of solitaire.
Okay.
Without all the mind games.
How do you make a less nuanced version of solitaire?
By
Straightforward.
putting horses in it. So it's a fast-paced card game that boosts your horse's speed as you play it.
So like every time I put an ace up, he gets like a speed boost?
Kind of. Your horse levels up and gets bonuses. You win trophies and get sponsors. Once you max out your horse, you can retire him.
Okay.
And you can get a new
By
horse.
retiring him,
you don't make horse glue.
Okay. Is that an option though?
You know what? Probably not. Like if you slam the 3DS closed really quick, you just kill the horse.
You know what I learned recently? I'm sorry to interrupt you. You never say in the business. You never say like we had to put down the horse. They say we had to destroy the horse.
Oh my god, that's worse.
I know. For some reason, it wasn't like metal enough. It's like the horse needed to be destroyed.
So you max your horse, you retire him, you get a new horse. Once it's time to retire that horse, you can breed them and get a new horse. It just showed two horses looking at each other with hearts coming out.
I have to get this game. I love solitaire. I love horses. I think horse racing is evil, but Nintendo's cool.
Yeah. So that is so weird. Like I don't even know if I would. I feel like I need to try this.
Yeah.
And that's coming out in May.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's really soon.
Pocket Card Jockey. And Nintendo's been really fucking busy.
Yeah.
They're also. So have you ever played a game called Azure Striker Gunvolt?
I think I have.
It's kind of like an anime Mega Man X kind of thingy.
No, I know of this game because I saw a speed run of it on Awesome Games Done Quick.
Okay. Well, the sequel is coming to 3DS.
Cool.
This summer. And they're putting the first one on sale.
Nice.
And it's like one of those, well, because it's the second one, now you can also play as the rival character.
Oh,
and
nice.
he can like mimic all the boss's attacks kind of thing. And
Okay.
you can use them whenever you want. And it's like all this weird like triangle laser beams and stuff happen. Everything's crazy.
Alright, well I'm getting that game. I'm getting the first one at least.
I just wrote down so much Wind Waker, March 25th. So that's when they're putting out the 3DS version of Hyrule Warriors.
Okay.
And driving me crazy because that's the version that has all the Wind Waker characters in it.
Yes.
But they're doing a thing where like, oh, it'll have a code where you can transfer them to the Wii U version too.
Okay.
So I have to find out if my brother gets, because he has the Wii U one, he hasn't played it yet, and he wants to get the 3DS one. And I want to find out, all right, can that code be used more than once? Can we both get in on this? Because I'm like, it's like fucking that's the best Zelda ever, and I don't have them in the thing. I have like Majora's Mask Link in the console one, but who the hell cares about that loser?
Oh my god, that game sucks.
There's 3 Wind Waker and they're like, and this exclusive Ganondorf skin, and it's Wind Waker Ganon. I'm like, fucking god, I hate you, stupid, for things I love.
I don't think Wind Waker's the best Zelda ever.
You haven't played it.
Yes, I tried.
We
like
tried.
3 times.
We tried. You saw the prologue, basically. But we are getting. There is one. I don't know why they threw us this bone, but like one of the characters, like there's a character named Medley. She's like a bird girl.
I know Medley.
Yeah. She's going to be in both. Like she'll be in the Wii U one just by default. So I'm like,
that's cool.
All right, awesome. I'm gonna fight with the harp now.
I thought the Hyrule Warriors for the 3DS was already out.
No, they announced it maybe last year.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it yet. That's when they did the Linkle reveal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because she's showing up in that.
Cool.
Now let's talk about Bravely Second End Layer coming out April 15th.
What is... It's called Bravely Second End Layer?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was just Bravely Second.
Finally have a hard date, because it's been all over the place. If you look at Amazon or whatever, like... Every article about it says something different, but they finally said, yeah, the 15th of April.
Cool.
There's a demo coming out March 10th, coming out like this Thursday. By the time this goes up, I will be playing this demo. And they're doing this cool thing. I think they did the same with the first game, where it's an original side story that won't be in the real game.
That's great.
And if you play it, you can get like bonuses and stuff that transfer into the... I don't know if that means like XP or items or something,
yeah.
But like... So I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Nice.
They also went into some of like the classes that are going to be new for this version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've told you about this before, but they gave a little more detail on it. Catmancers. So you learn the abilities of enemies,
okay.
and you train cats to perform those for treats. So if I want, if I want to shoot a fireball or something, I have to bring out mittens. And I use magic to summon my cat, and the cat casts a spell, and that spell shoots a fireball.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
I know, it's just the right side of stupid, and
Yes!
I love it.
Yes!
I'm going to make a point of, with the exception of probably like a white mage as a subclass or something, I want to use none of the classes and jobs I used last time.
Oh yeah?
That means I'm telling you right now, I'm going to have a max level baker, and they're... Because I've just seen the animation of this as baker, and somebody makes a cake and throws it. I'm going to beat a boss with that cake. Hear me now. I am beating a boss with cake.
Alright, beating a boss with cake and cats, I like it.
Yes. This team is going to be the worst. God, I can't wait. That's going to be great. And I put this on here. I don't really care about it, but I think it's really cool that they did it. Dragon Quest VII is coming to 3DS this year.
Okay, cool.
And it is completely remade. New models, they rebuilt the world, they retranslated the entire thing.
Wow.
They said that it's essentially a brand new game for the amount of
Nice.
work they put into it.
I might pick that up. I always wanted to play a Dragon Quest game. I have to see if if it's like a Final Fantasy situation where you can just pick up any of them, or you need to play them in order.
Because I did see, like, they have also talked about Dragon Quest, I think, 8 coming out to 3DS, but I don't know when. I have to assume this is the one that everybody really loves or something.
The only thing I know about Dragon Quest is that they have those cute little blue slimes, and there's a girl called the Puff Puff Girl, who you can pay and she rubs her boobs on you and it fills your health.
Okay.
I think in Dragon Quest VII, that was the only one, the scene with the Puff Puff Girl wasn't censored, because it was revealed that she just puts a blindfold on him and rubs 2 slimes against him.
Oh.
It was like a joke scene, yeah.
So Monster Hunter Generations is coming out this year.
Is that the one... It's not like a regular Monster Hunter game? There's something different about it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It was called something else in Japan. It was like Monster Hunter Cross or something. I'm not sure, like, I don't know or care enough about Monster Hunter to remember exactly what this was. If it's like a Final Fantasy Explorers kind of situation where it's like just, it's a best of all the characters you know are coming together, and, and Lightning's there too. But they're putting Marth in this.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know what Nintendo's thing is with Marth, because first they put him in codename Steam.
They did?
Yeah, if you touch the Marth amiibo to that game, the game, which I'll remind you was about Abraham Lincoln running a steampunk shield.
Yeah.
You could put Marth in it, and I think a couple other Fire Emblem characters, but Marth. And now they're putting Marth in Monster Hunter.
What the hell?
I mean, I guess he fits here better, but why? I don't understand.
I'd like to imagine, like, this is Nintendo hinting at Marth being like the Nick Fury of a Nintendo Avengers.
We're gonna bring you guys together into one game. Oh.
Yeah, but like a canon one.
And it's called Super Amiibros.
That's the best. That would be the best name.
No, the best name would be a Splatoon sequel called Splatoon with a number 2 in place of the O's.
Yes, I totally agree to that too, for a Splatoon sequel. But this has to be a game where you can bring your amiibos together to fight things. So Super Amiibros is the best name for that.
Splatoon should get Marth DLC. Just the gear that makes them Marth. Did you know?
The gear that makes them Marth?
Yes.
Not letting that slide.
Did you know that there's an anime called Squid Girl, which is not what you think.
Okay.
It is literally
it's
a little girl with like tentacle hair.
I think I've seen pictures of
and
this.
then like she shows up and she's like, haha, I'm gonna conquer the world, and they're like, whatever, kid. And she tries, but all she does is like kind of mess up this one like sandwich shop, and they make her work there to pay it off. And it's just her, like, misadventures of being, like, a squid girl in, like, this beach town.
This sounds great.
And they added Splatoon DLC of her. Like, if you've ever seen somebody running around with, like a white kind of weird hat and a white dress and shoes with, like, little accents of color around it, that's Squid Girl.
Okay, I will keep an eye out.
So I thought that was cool. Because I saw that gear set first before I knew what it was a reference to, but that's really cool that Nintendo did that.
Yeah.
So the final thing from the Nintendo Direct. Kirby Planet Robobot.
Kirby Planet Robobot?
Yes. It's coming out June 10th. So it's your typical... They took Kirby Triple Deluxe, which was their last one.
Yeah.
Where the gimmick was, it's a regular Kirby game, but you can jump back and forth between the foreground and the background. It's just like Xeno Drifter.
Xeno Drifter.
That too. All three of those games do that. This time, Kirby steals a mech suit. Because the whole thing is Kirby wakes up one day and like robots are turning Dreamland into like a steampunk hell. And he steals one of their mech suits and now Kirby has a battle mech. And that mech can steal powers from other mechs.
Just like Kirby.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And amiibos give Kirby extra powers. If you touch the Mario amiibo, he gets the fire power. If you touch the Link, he gets the sword.
Okay.
If you touch the Kirby amiibo, specifically the Smash Brothers Kirby amiibo, he gets his moveset from Smash.
Okay.
Like, he can do, like the up... Like, his up B is the same thing with, like, the sword.
Alright.
And, like, all of that stuff is the same. If you touch the new Kirby amiibo where he's on the Warp Star, he turns into the UFO. That has the tractor beam and lasers.
Yeah.
There's also a 4-player mode with XP and leveling. And you can earn, like, tablets that you can pull together to perform super attacks that, like, have the moon fall on you or something. I don't know.
Oh my god.
But, yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Okay! It's like they sat down and said, we've been kind of making the same Kirby game a lot.
Yeah.
Let's have robots. How about if he drives a Megazord?
Oh, that sounds really good. Is that it?
That's it for Nintendo Direct.
That's not it, though.
That's not it. Now I want to talk about this. I didn't originally because this is one of those things where it's like, oh, that happened. It's kind of just a headline.
Mm-hmm.
Then as the week went on, more and more stuff directly related to this subject happened.
Okay.
Well, I want to talk about kind of, I guess, the role and importance of professional criticism.
Okay.
So this started...
Certainly not us.
Oh no! So this started with the movie Gods of Egypt.
Oh, okay.
Have you heard about this?
Yes, that movie looks terrible.
Yeah, like if you...
I haven't seen it.
Everybody's seen the trailer.
Yeah.
And it looks like your generic, like... It's very blatantly it wants to be a summer blockbuster, but it's came out in February.
Yeah.
It's one of those. Didn't look terrible, it just looked really generic and probably unfulfilling.
Yeah.
So it cost $140 million to make, and it earned 14. And granted, that number is probably going to go up some from when they did that story, but so it was a complete bomb. And critics hated it.
Okay.
Hated it immensely.
I could have guessed that.
So the director, the genesis of the story is the director went onto Facebook and wrote a pair of long multi-paragraph... Like, the second one was the more PC version of the first one.
Okay.
He claimed that it only got such bad reviews because critics are cowards who follow the pack instead of saying what they really think. A whole, like, why can't you just admit that you liked my movie?
Yeah, that's not the right way to handle this.
And he said, bad reviews poison the well, and Hollywood could stop making original fantasy movies altogether. Which, I mean, yeah, it's true that critics can influence people, but at a certain point, when does it just become... Making bad original fantasy movies that are bad movies will discourage Hollywood from making more of those.
Yeah. At the same time, we also just got Star Wars and Mad Max, some of the greatest fantasy movies of all time.
He actually does call critics a pack of diseased vultures pecking at the bones of a dying carcass.
Okay, he's going a little too far now.
A little too far. I think that's the kind of thing that spawned the revised version.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you know what? This is just this guy overreacting to the thing. He's taking this personally, and we don't know all of the ins and outs of how this stuff actually goes down, how it gets made, and all that. Whatever. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but he's being a jerk.
Yeah.
So days later, I'm watching Netflix. My mom wanted to see Fuller House.
Okay.
So we were watching that.
Also looks terrible.
It's the kind of show where if she didn't want to watch it, I might have checked out the pilot just to see what's what and not really continued with it. It's actually good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel like we still have like 4 episodes to go, and I feel like once you get to that point, it's kind of outstayed its welcome a little bit.
I gotcha.
But
I never watched Full House as a kid. Could I watch this?
You could. You wouldn't really get much out of it.
Gotcha.
Because it's very much, they knew they wanted to make another sitcom of that era.
Okay.
And it's very heavily reliant on, we know we're talking to our fans.
Okay.
It's a nostalgia heavy. Like, there's parallels all over the place between old episodes. They flash back sometimes. They'll have, like, returning characters show up. Like, the whole premise is, it's one of those shows where the kids from the show are now the parents. And, like, they're moving into their old house. And, they'll be setting up their room. They'll be like, oh, God, remember that time when we were kids and we had to start sharing a room and we drew the line down the middle of it? They don't do a flashback. But they're describing, like, an actual episode from season 1 kind of thing. It's like, and they do this great thing. The only person so the entire cast came back for the pilot, and after the pilot, it's the kids who are now the adults and their children.
Okay.
And the original cast, like Bob Saget and all those people, come back for an episode here and there. The only people that did not come back for the pilot was the Olsens.
Yeah.
They famously live in New York. They have like a clothing line or whatever, and the characters are having like this big like family get together, and they're like, "Man, it's just a shame Michelle couldn't be here." Yeah, I mean, she's busy in New York with her fashion business. And then all the characters just look at the camera and they linger on that for like 15 seconds, and then they go back to their scene.
That's good. I heard it's also filmed in front of a studio audience.
I don't know. Like, they do have the laugh track, but I've never known if those, after a certain point, are real or if they're added.
I can never tell either.
I mean, I know they definitely used to always be real, because sometimes sitcoms would break the fourth wall and, like, turn the camera or go out into the... It's the kind of show where it very clearly is exactly what they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And if you told me that after filming that pilot, all those actors piled into a big van and spent the rest of the night at a diner just talking and laughing, I would believe you, because I've never seen a cast so blatantly having fun doing what they're doing.
I can't believe Bob Saget came back.
I know.
He's like a sex offender, isn't he?
Not really, no.
Oh, okay.
But he is like, he's one of the filthiest comedians ever.
Filthiest comic, yeah.
Which is amazing, because he's most known for the prim and proper guy who cleans everything.
Oh, yeah?
On that show. That's his character.
We totally got off topic.
Not really.
Oh,
because Fuller House's reviews.
Yeah?
Critics hated this as much as they hated Gods of Egypt.
Yeah?
So I copied down some of these.
Okay.
And it was fun. And I will say, like, John Stamos, who plays, like, Uncle Jesse on the show, he is the producer of the show, too. He did an interview where he's like, and he had a good attitude about it. He was like poking fun at it while also being like, this is so dumb to be saying about this show.
Yeah.
So The Hollywood Reporter says, probably more so than with any of the other recent television reboots, every reaction to Fuller House from both the studio audience and probably the home audience will be nigh on Pavlovian and a study in how little needs to be done to produce drool.
Wow.
Now, it's going to get worse as we go. And I want you to really think about the kind of thing they're reviewing.
Yeah.
And the audience it's for, and just how, just think about what they're saying. Think about what the New York Times says, which is, it begins as a sitcom family reunion. It becomes a self-conscious, dated, and maudlin reminder of the ceaseless march of time and your inevitable demise.
Oh my god!
Like, I know I like this show, but this...
Are you thinking about your inevitable demise yet?
I mean, usually, but like, this is so, like, they sound so full of themselves.
What in the world?
The Washington Post says, there's a point where nostalgia becomes more like necrophilia.
What the fuck?
It's like
I feel like I need to shower.
Like, they could have made a good show, but instead they're just fucking this corpse.
Good lord! These are well-respected forms of media.
The Boston Globe says, it's easy to wish everyone involved with this revival had been concerned with something more honorable than narcissistic self-celebration.
This is insane.
And finally, the AV Club says, it's like a porn parody without the porn.
The AV Club?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, at a certain point, do you... Like, are you just trying to get some stuff out that you've been keeping inside? Are you trying to just have some fun with it? Or is this like, I'm going to sound smart now?
I think it's the latter.
And it's interesting to think about this in the context of the Gods of Egypt thing, which
yeah.
I didn't read the specific reviews to that, just the reaction to it after the fact. But it's true, like, there's so many reviews out there for everything that if you want people to come to yours, you have to make it stand out in some way. You have to give it personality. But at a certain point, like, you cross the line and it just sounds like you're just trying to show off.
I think it's also... This is like the New York Times, the Washington Post. These are newspapers and magazines, and it's a show on Netflix. It's kind of new versus old, and there might be a bit of spite and anger in that.
Maybe.
It's a little extra venom in their voice when they're talking about it.
Well, it also seemed to carry a connotation of how dare they make a 1990s era show again.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they put in the work and make something that would stand the test of quality by today's standards?
Yeah.
And then I started thinking even more about this, because Game of Thrones, whoever makes that, announced that
HBO.
Season 6 will not be screened for critics.
Interesting.
And they said no review copies will be sent out. Critics will have to watch it live like everyone else. And they're doing this to prevent leaks and spoilers.
Okay.
Now, what makes this relevant to this conversation, I think, is the fact that usually you send that stuff out in advance so that people can, on day one, look at, like, reviews and see, like, oh man, this Game of Thrones premiere is kicking all sorts of ass. Maybe I'll watch this show.
Mm-hmm.
They don't deem it important enough to have that bump anymore.
Yeah.
So is that a testament to how big Game of Thrones is, or that in an age where viewer reaction can get out there immediately, it's not as important, like are professional critics as important to the process anymore?
You don't think it's because they don't feel confident in the premiere?
Usually I would say yes. Because, like, whenever you find out, oh, this movie was not screened for critics, or this video game, there's no day one reviews on it or whatever, it's usually because the people who made it knew it's not going to do well.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to not tell people how bad it is so that people will, like, not be tricked into getting it, but they won't know how bad it is.
Yeah.
But, like, with Game of Thrones, like, I haven't watched it, but everybody seems to love all of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't feel like the actual quality of it is in play here.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know, it's interesting.
Is it that whole, like, a symptom of technology thing where the reason things like professional critics have been so prominent for so long is because for a long time that was the only way to find knowledgeable opinions about these things?
Yeah, I think so. There really was no other option aside from talking to people, and who wants to do that?
No, people are jerks.
Yeah. This brings up an interesting point, though. We have recently started a new podcast. We haven't posted any of them yet.
Yes.
With two friends of ours, Hillary and Rachel, where we discuss bad horror movies. So, are we just as bad as these critics?
I mean, it's a hard question to answer because it's like, evaluate yourself now.
Yeah.
I tend to think that we'll rail on something that's really bad, but we make a point to talk about the good stuff too.
Yeah.
So I feel like
we actually have a segment called The Good Part.
Yeah. And maybe it's telling that we had to add that segment.
Yeah, because first episode, there was just nothing.
Yeah. But I feel like it's the question of, is the criticism fair?
Mm-hmm.
And if a work is so bad that you can't come up with anything really good to say, then that's one thing. But like usually, for the most part, extremes don't exist.
Yeah.
So if you're really being fair about something, then you're going to be able to shit all over it, but also point out the couple things that were done well.
Yeah. Yeah, we always do try to point out the good stuff. Okay, so we're perfect. It's everyone else.
Yeah, of course. And
glad that's settled. I can sleep tonight.
But then it gets into weird gray areas with things like how Ubisoft isn't giving reviewers advanced access to Tom Clancy's The Division. And their reason for that...
I had a feeling about that game.
Their reason is that it's basically like a third-person shooter, modern-day Destiny kind of game.
Yeah.
And they feel like a game like The Division can't be properly reviewed unless you have the full online multiplayer experience in front of you. Whereas if you just played the beta with a handful of people, or if you get it early and the only people online with it are other reviewers, then you're not going to get the feel for how big it is or the scope of the game or what the multiplayer is actually like.
Is that a multiplayer only game?
I think so.
I had no idea.
Yeah, the details have been weird about it, but it basically is the Destiny model just in present day and third person all the time. Well, I mean, you can go into first person to aim and stuff, but
yeah. I thought there was a single player. Huh. That actually sounds way more interesting now.
We've been conditioned to think that's an excuse,
Yeah.
Like if they don't put it out there for critics first, they know it's bad. But is that a valid point? That if you have a multiplayer only game and you have to review it before there's a ton of people playing it, can you properly and fairly review that game?
Yeah. There should still be enough content for you to play on your own, I feel.
Yeah.
And I've read several video game reviews that say I need to say fairly that I was not able to review the full game because multiplayer wasn't unlocked. Like, good reviewers always review conditionally.
Yeah, it gets kind of dicey when the more caveats you have to put on a review, then does that mean the review itself is going to be worth less and less?
Yeah. That being said, I only I mainly just read like Giant Bomb and stuff. Like, there are people who just like read like Game Informer and just look at the number.
Yeah. Like
the score. So I guess that's what they're worried about.
Well, like last time I checked, because you mentioned Giant Bomb, last I checked, they have not given a number score to Street Fighter V yet.
Really?
Because they feel like, okay, the game isn't all here yet. And they constantly have that question raised on the podcast about, like, okay, do you revisit games and re-review them? And does that new review replace the old review or come alongside it?
Yeah. And, like, what about... I remember this was a big question during last year's Game of the Year talks. What about Metal Gear Solid 5? Because the game was not... They kept patching it. Like, so what point... when the game first released, it was a great game, and then they kept patching it more free-to-play stuff, and people were stealing all your shit. Like, are you recommending the final game, or are you recommending the first game that came out? Like, it changed so much. So,
yeah. At
what point, what game are you reviewing?
Yeah, like, should the Street Fighter V review reflect the quality of the product that they launched with, or should it be an overall reflection of the quality of the finished game once all of the modes and everything are in there?
Yeah.
Like, and I kind of feel like it's a question of who is this for?
Yeah.
Like, is a review for the person that wants to go out and get it the first week, or is it for somebody who in 2018 is like, hey, I have a PS4, but I never got into Street Fighter. Let me see if that game's worth it. Is there even an answer to that question? Because a review kind of needs to be all-encompassing.
Yeah, but what can you do?
Yeah.
Unless you continue to review it, like you review the patches and the DLC and stuff. Not necessarily all the patches, but the big ones, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Mortal Kombat XL just came out. Can you, like...
That, I mean...
Can you imagine, like, looking at a review for the day one Mortal Kombat X? And it's like there's 10 new characters now.
I mean, I feel like with things like Destiny had a review, but Destiny of the Taken King had its own review.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But even at that point, like, how do you review Destiny? Do you wait for all of it to be, like, updated and patched? Or do you...
Yeah.
It's
no
just...
way to know. It's a system that was designed for one way, but the business has changed.
Yeah, the whole structure of reviews is, we're going to make this product, put it in a box, hand you the box, you take the product out, you poke at it and smell it a little, and you review what was in that box.
Yeah.
And it's another one of those things that we keep talking about where, like, technology is moving past that. So that now, instead of, like, this one contained thing, it is a thing that's going to keep growing and changing over time. So you can't really pin it down to what it is in this particular moment. Mm-hmm. Which means it's another thing where reviewers and review methods have to change with it. Otherwise, the information they're giving is going to be irrelevant soon. Yeah.
And there are some great reviewers. Like, we keep talking about Giant Bomb because they're amazing. They're some of the best and most fair reviewers out there.
They also have the luxury of, like, they do a weekly podcast and they constantly pump out new content talking about this stuff.
Exactly. I think that's the best way to do it.
Although it's kind of funny. Like, it almost feels like things like movies are exempt to all this because that is very much, okay, it's done now.
Yeah.
So here it is. Mm-hmm. And beyond that, you're just going to get like, oh, the Blu-ray edition has some extra stuff or something.
Yeah. Then you could just review the Blu-ray edition, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, we got that out. We're almost done, Rob.
So that's depressing.
We're almost done, Rob. Let's take a minute to talk about your friend and mine, American Cammy.
Good old Stars and Stripes Cammy.
Yes, I love... Which, by the way, she does... One of her Street Fighter 4 costumes, she's dressed like a cowgirl and has, like, a bikini top that's the American flag. So I'm like, hey, that's America. I spent some time reading up on her backstory.
Okay.
Because we were really confused last time.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's actually pretty straightforward, but it's scattered across games that happened out of order, and there's lots of, like back and forth on, like, memory and brainwashing.
Okay.
So, basically, Bison's power is too much for his body, right? So he had clones of himself made called dolls. I don't know why so many of them are women.
Okay.
The only actual male one I've seen is Seth. He's the boss from... yeah, he was a Bison clone. He's the boss from 4.
Yeah.
But the idea is he'll put his mind and power into the best one when his body's ready to give out.
Okay.
Cammy is a doll that broke free of her programming and got away.
Okay. So, does he figure she's the best one?
Well, yeah, she traveled the world trying to find a purpose and eventually confronted Bison a few times. And he's like, man, you're stronger than the last time, than when you broke out of my facility. So the idea is he wants her to be his next body.
Gotcha.
And he revealed to her everything I just said.
Okay.
And because she's a clone of him, she has a little of his power in her already. And that link means that she'll die if he dies.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes more
That's interesting.
That makes more sense, but then it actually makes less sense. Because that means that the body you want to transfer yourself into will die the same time as the body you're abandoning.
Maybe once the consciousness passes over, it's like starting new life. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
It's like a soul thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, souls, yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, honestly, the only thing complicated about Cammy's story is the fact that...
There's all the cloning.
Well, not even that. It's the fact that she's constantly bouncing back and forth between being brainwashed and not being brainwashed,
Yeah.
having amnesia and not having amnesia. And along the way through all of that, she's joining every group you can name, like good guys and bad guys.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, at one point she was an agent for these people, and that's where she got the Killer Bee name. So she's a clone trying to make her own way in the world, and her big driving force is she wants to save the other dolls that she considers her sisters.
Yeah.
And she wants to protect the ones that she already broke out.
Okay.
Like did you play her story mode in
Yes.
5? The lady she's talking to in the bus station is one of the dolls.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So yeah, that's American Cammy's story.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, pretty simple.
It's not too confusing.
Oh, I was expecting worse.
Yeah. I watched Maximilian did a video on the history of Nash.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't remember any of it.
That's fine.
It was very confusing.
He died and now he's better.
Yeah.
My brother thought he was a robot.
No, he's kind of like a Frankenstein monster.
Yeah.
I remember he died at the end of Third Strike.
Did he get hit 3 times?
Oh, I get it. That was terrible. That was so stupid. I didn't get it. I'm sorry. No, Bison called it a helicopter and it shot him to death.
Wait, what?
Like he was at the end of his story mode, he was fighting Bison.
Yeah.
And like he had him on the ground and he was like, "Oh, you got me." And then a helicopter flew up behind him and it like fired a turret machine gun.
Oh, I thought you meant Bison threw a helicopter at him.
No.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But then there were a couple like Marvel vs. Capcom type games where he was like a hidden character and his name was like Shadowloo or Shadow or something like that.
Shadow Lou. First name Shadow, last name Lou.
Yeah. So it seems that Bison and Shadowloo were keeping him alive, like brainwashed, like Winter Soldier style.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's unclear, but in 5 it seems that he's broken free of his programming somehow.
Yeah.
That explains why he has like the Frankenstein arm and half a face.
Was he not dead then? Or was he...
I guess he died for a while, but they used like psycho power and magic to bring him back.
Alright.
You know.
And now Bison dies, he dies.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Or like maybe just, weird science, like
yeah.
they strapped him to a table and lightning struck him.
And made him in a computer.
Yeah, exactly. And he was a sexy woman, and then Mannequin was there, getting my 80s movies confused.
So I have one last thing on here. And
Does it involve Mannequin?
No, it involves Street Fighter. So
Okay,
I was sitting around the other day, and I was thinking to myself about the cast of Street Fighter V, as you do.
As you do.
And I'm thinking to myself, what would these people do if they couldn't fight? Like, what would like, if tomorrow they decided, you know what, we fought enough. And they all went out to get, like, real jobs.
Okay. And
they could not do anything directly related to fighting.
Okay.
What would they do? And I came up with some. I want your input, and I also want you to help me fill in some holes.
Okay. I'm happy to help.
So I could see Zangief being, like, an overly enthusiastic bouncer.
That kind of has to do with
I
fighting.
thought so too, but I feel like he's big enough that all he has to do is like stand there and look at you, and you're gonna like not start anything.
Okay, and if anyone does try to attack him, his iron body is invincible, so he just kind of has to stand there and take it.
Like that or a waiter. Like I just want him to wear tux.
that would be adorable.
I feel like Ken was easy. He would be a stay-at-home dad slash little league coach.
Yeah, he's already got a family. Yeah.
He likes making friends and teaching other people how.
Exactly.
They all wear red. Their uniforms will be red.
Of course, yeah. And like he would, whenever he'd like hit a pitch from a little kid, it would catch fire and just hopefully it would not hit any of the children because they would die.
It would be a literal fireball.
Yes, exactly.
He wouldn't use a bat. He would just spin kick it. Now this one, follow me on this one.
Okay.
I would have Mika as a motivational speaker.
Yes, absolutely.
Because she's like, every time she talks, she's all about like how you can do it and use your muscle spirit and this and everything is great and you can do everything and rainbows. Because when you hold down her mic drop buttons, is that her skill?
Yeah.
If you just sit there and listen to her play it out in like training or something, she's got like it's different a few times. But it's always like they recorded like 5 sentences of her going on these like speeches about stuff, and then she slams the mic down.
I have not listened to it.
You need to.
Okay.
She's so happy and positive and inspirational about stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, she would go to like colleges and stuff, and like or like high schools and seminars.
Yeah.
And things.
I'd like to think at this point in her life, she's moved in with her life partner, Nadeshko.
Yeah.
And they will often eat at the restaurant that her best friend
That Zangief
Zangief
runs.
works at. Yeah. He gave her away at the wedding.
Of course. You may now
I have a big backstory going on there.
You may now body slam the bride.
Yes.
Cammy, I'd put Olympic soccer team. Because she's competitive and likes to kick stuff.
She does like to kick the... I don't know, maybe Chun-Li.
I thought about that, but
Yeah.
then I'm like, Chun-Li she's already in law enforcement. So,
That's true.
But then I'm like, you know what? Maybe desk job. But then I'm like, no, you know what? Chun-Li as the cop at a lazy small town, like Mayberry, but with Chun-Li.
Yeah, but haven't you ever seen like one of those? I don't know, like the movie Hostage, or like those like action movies where it's like it was just a lazy small town, and then this gang came to town. That's where all the shit goes down.
Yeah, but that wouldn't happen because this is a Street Fighter universe, and the only bad things that happen result from street fights. So as long as the people who are like strong enough don't street fight, the world is perfect.
That's not true at all. There's a terrorist organization.
Until
Cammy got kidnapped, brainwashed, and like I think she was raped by Bison.
that ended up being wrong.
Okay.
So, but all that happened because of street fighting. Because of you heard that We Hate Movies episode about Wild in the Streets? That was talking about this.
Alright, so Cammy's Olympic soccer.
I have Olympic soccer.
Okay.
Because I feel like she really likes to hit things and she needs an outlet.
She does, but her whole motivation is saving the dolls.
Social worker.
Yes, I
Yes,
was thinking social worker,
perfect.
or like maybe working in a women's shelter or something.
That's
like
awesome.
That. Yeah.
Okay. Nash, all I could think of was corpse. He just wouldn't be alive.
maybe organ player at an opera house. But
Like, what does he even, I mean, his little stats set doesn't say he like anything, so I
No.
don't know. He likes vengeance. Could he be Batman, I guess? I don't know.
oh man, maybe he could like live in a bell tower somewhere.
Would he just be a hobo? Like, boxcar hobo?
Well, him and Guile worked for like the CIA, tried to take down Bison.
So you would, like, man a call center or something?
Let's come back to Nash.
Okay.
I'll think of something.
Alright. Laura.
Okay.
I think
Stripper?
she could... No. I think she should act in Fast and the Furious movies.
Because she kind of looks like Michelle Rodriguez.
No, because, like, so in the one Fast and Furious movie I watched, they brought in, like, here's this UFC fighter who's gonna be, like, the number 2 kind of person.
Ronda Rousey, yeah.
Sure. And, like, it's very much like, she's not an actor, but she's right for this. Like, Laura could do that.
She gets into acting.
Yeah, she gets into acting.
Yeah, she can do that.
Birdie, I have as unemployed.
No, we gotta get him a job. Well, he is
Such a loser.
in his story mode. He does just hang out at Karen's house.
Yeah. I don't know how old he is, but he looks like he never outgrew being, like, the punk idiot from high school.
Yeah. What about competitive eating?
Oh.
Yeah. What if he gets into that?
Could he go far, though? Because isn't it better when you're thin? Because your stomach can still stretch a lot?
Yeah, but I feel like he would just kill whoever he loses to.
Yeah, I guess. And he does eat big donuts.
That's true.
Karen, unchanged. She's
Yeah,
just a rich...
she's the leader of her family.
Yeah, she's the head of the family. She's rich.
She takes in hobos.
She adopts hobos
Yeah.
constantly, yeah. She could adopt Nash.
Oh my god! Yes!
Nash could be Birdie's best friend. They could go on, like, Bill and Ted-esque adventures.
Yeah, what if, like, yeah, Karen has to stop fighting, because everyone has to stop fighting, so she takes in Nash, as well as, like, kind of the muscle. But he has to stop fighting as well, so he's just there to look scary.
Yeah.
Kind of like what Geef is doing as a bouncer / waiter / owner of the pizza house.
Yeah, he'll be wearing one of those aprons, one of those little hats.
Yes.
Yeah. Chun-Li we talked about.
Yeah,
Well,
police.
what would you say Chun-Li if not police?
I feel like she can still do police, because that's mainly, like, if you get into trouble, it's not a lot, it's not like street fighting.
It's like the threat of violence, but not violence.
It's
a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's street fighting, and then there's, like, tackling a guy and handcuffing him, you know? I feel like that's a different thing. Or are you saying, like, no violence whatsoever?
Oh, I would like none.
Okay,
But
okay.
That's why I put her in, like, a lazy little town where nothing ever happens.
Yeah,
Everybody
but
knows
there's-
everybody's name.
Like, I don't know. I don't think that's gonna work. Because there's always gonna be crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But without street fighting to be the genesis of all crime.
Who else you got?
Fong. I just put drugs?
What if he becomes like a chemist?
Well, I was
Or
thinking
like a doctor?
I was thinking like mob doctor or
Oh,
like,
that'd be good.
But I don't know, like, is he... I mean, his story made it look like he's just got lots of poison and stuff because he soaked it up into his skin. So does he actually know any of this stuff?
I think he can control when it comes out. Maybe mob doctor in the way like, hey, I got this guy I need to take care of, and he's like, here, give him this cupcake. You know what I mean?
No.
He
what?
kills people.
Oh.
He poisons people.
Oh.
No good.
We'll say mob doctor.
Fine, mob doctor.
Bison.
Those who healeth can make a thou.
Sure, that's
Yeah.
a saying. No, it's not.
That's what Kramer said in an episode of Seinfeld.
Bison, corrupt CEO.
Bison is the leader of Shadaloo, which is a terrorist organization, so he can
Yeah.
just do the same thing.
But I mean, if we're trying to get him a non-fighty job...
That's not a non-fighty job.
No, it's not. Your whole organization revolves around fighting and violence.
Yeah, he can sit behind the desk and run it. He's
guess.
basically the corrupt CEO of Shadaloo.
I guess. So Rashid, I would have him as the social media guy for some company.
Yeah.
Like
I like that. I can see him as like the face of Google or something.
Like his job is to sit there and like give you a great Twitter presence.
Yeah. Maybe Mika hires him to help her out with her
Yeah, she needs to get her business out
motivational
there.
speaker. Yeah, exactly.
Nice, gets her gigs. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
He always cartwheels into the room. I'm Rashid. I'm here to help you on YouTube.
He does like the motions.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh man, wish he would help us. All right, so Ryu.
Oh, Ryu.
My first thought was, well, he would be a great like instructor, you know.
Yeah, why can't he be a martial arts
But then I'm
instructor?
like, that's still close to his whole fighting thing anyway.
Yeah.
So what can we give Ryu that would make sense for Ryu and fit for Ryu's mindset about working hard and achieving things through physical like trying. And then I realized he would be the perfect high school gym teacher. He would be. Listen, are you telling me you couldn't picture Ryu with a whistle around his neck, taking a knee, and telling little Billy that rope hanging from the ceiling, it is not going to beat him? Because little Billy, you are going to climb it, and you are going to believe in yourself. And watch this YouTube video of my friend Mika. She will tell you all about it. But you are going to train, and you are going to defeat this rope.
I thought you were going to say, like, he should be, like, in Africa building houses for the homeless or something. You went a totally different way with it. But
no, that's what that bear in that backstage is doing. He's building habitats for humanity.
But you're not wrong. Alright, so Ryu's a gym teacher.
Ryu is the best gym teacher.
Alright, who haven't we done?
Dalsim?
Dalsim, yoga teacher.
That's why,
Yeah, yoga teacher.
Probably, yeah, alright.
Best yoga instructor in the world.
Yeah.
Occasionally Ryu goes there to get tips.
Sometimes, like, Dalsim, my students have been coming to you, and now they can teleport out of gym class. We have to talk about this.
Then he teaches Ryu how to teleport. It's a much funner gym class.
Alright. Vega.
Vega.
I put him as a soap opera actor.
Ooh, that's not bad. Male model, maybe?
Hmm.
Or...
My brother said he should be a hairdresser.
Hairdresser's pretty good. Or maybe a guy who digs ditches for outhouses. I hate Vega.
Florist.
Florist. Yeah, he likes roses. Yeah, I like hairdresser because he can use his claw.
That was his reasoning
Yes,
too.
he has great hair and he can use his claw.
All right, now, Nikali, I just have him working at McDonald's.
He eats burgers, goes devour,
Devour. Every Big Mac has to be consumed by me.
No, maybe.
Or he's Zangief's short order cook. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Keith is keeping him in line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, he's working. Okay. Is there anyone that we said we'd come back to? Chun-Li.
And Nash and Chun-Li.
No, Nash we did.
Oh,
Nash,
yeah.
Nash
Nash is a lost cause.
Nash is Karen's bodyguard.
He'll get absorbed into the system. He'll age out eventually.
Chun-Li, crap.
I don't know enough about her as a person.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. You know what?
What?
If we want her to have a cop-esque job that is bound to not have any, like, conflict in it, she could be, like a park ranger or something.
Park ranger would be good.
Also, I just played Firewatch.
Yeah.
She could be a park ranger.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like she should be tied into someone else. Like, maybe she could help out Ryu at the gym somehow.
I mean, my high school, there was always 2 gym coaches at once.
I feel like she'd be really good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he'd be the inspirational one, and she'd be, like, the heavy if they get out of line.
Is she, like, the really by the books, like...
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's a funny joke, Billy. Now do 600 pull-ups.
Exactly. And I always thought they'd end up together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because they're, like, the 2 main characters?
Yeah.
Huh.
I know.
I always thought
Unless
Ryu and Ken.
Yeah, I was gonna make that same joke. Nice.
Is Ken, like, do people generally not like Ken? Because I feel like he's always the butt of the jokes.
I just feel like most people don't think he's as good as Ryu.
Is it just because they have the same moveset, so he's just
Yes.
he's just worse Ryu?
Exactly. Although, last night I started playing, I tried out survival mode with him, and I realized I'm way better with Ken than I am with Ryu.
I really like how his V-trigger just makes all of his shit fire.
Yeah.
Like, his Hadouken becomes fire.
Yeah.
And also, is it just called a fireball when it's, like, fire color and stuff, or is a regular Hadouken a fireball?
I think it's just referred to as a fireball because that motion does the same thing in other games, but it's called other things.
Okay. But it's only called a fireball, like when it's actually made of fire is when it's technically a fireball.
It's just like you can call it a Hadouken or a fireball. They're both acceptable.
Okay.
It's like if I do that with Jago and Killer Instinct, it's called like a... I forget what it's called, but it's not a Hadouken, but it's the exact same animation, so it's a fireball. So it's like if I say do the fireball motion, you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was aware that they had, like, it's basically a Hadouken, but it looks like fire, as opposed to being, like, blue soul light.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay, so fireball means the one that looks like fire, and Hadouken is the one that's blue.
No, that's just referring to, like, the motion of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I think we're done.
I think we're done. How long have we gone? This is like 3 hours?
2.5.
Okay.
I'll cut out, like, a few minutes.
Oh, I get it.
So, yeah, this is... I feel like we say this every 2 weeks, but this has been the biggest and dumbest podcast. I need to eat something.
I do too.
This
Let's go get
has
some
been
meat.
a lot.
Yeah.
See you next time, everybody.
Bye.